Joining us now for more insight is Ahmed Banafa, who's an engineering professor and tech expert from San Jose State. Ahmed, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Andre.
All right, so I want to get to what the big tech companies are doing, in just a moment. But first, I want to ask you about what your thoughts are about Sora.
Here we go again. OpenAI coming up with something which is shocking the world and giving us 60 seconds of a realistic video that you will even, if they never told us that this is generated by AI, they will say, wow, look at this 4K camera. So it's really another surprise.
It's really, really, really cool looking. I've read that this would really benefit professions like marketing, because you can create some marketing. I suppose for smaller marketers too, like let's say you have a small marketing company, this would really benefit you. What other industries could benefit from something like this?
Well, I mean, we can use it at the university. If I would like to simplify a certain concept, instead of describing a certain scenario, I can just have that scenario in a video that will be for the university. Every time you need a demo, this is your tool. And you can take it from that point. It's the thing about it is here. This is coming, at the time where we were happy. We did the same reaction with ChatGPT, and then a little bit after that, we start thinking, okay, let's see what else we can do with this, how it's going to harm the society.
Okay, so let's talk about the losers here. And we know last year we had the writers and actors strike, and one of the big issues when the actors strike was using AI. And writing that into the contract and preventing the studios from doing that. So what are concerns and what jobs do you see this being affected? Who loses from something like this?
The animation artist will be number one, and storytellers is the same thing. That's going to be another one. And all of these things, when you talk about, for example, somebody trying to create a movie. Now it's 60 seconds, but this is the first step. I mean, I'm not going to be surprised if other companies or OpenAI will go with 15, minutes. Maybe we'll see this one in the Oscars. Will be a new categories with the AI generated movies that we'll look at, like what I have with the animations. We open that category.
Yeah, that's probably going to be coming soon. We talked a little bit about misinformation. It is an election year. People have brought up the fact that this is coming out during an election year, man. What could this possibly do? What do you envision the risk of this particular product doing to lead to misinformation? What can it do to the average person watching this newscast?
Well, it makes the candidates say something that they will never say, go to places that they will never go to. Hold something in their hand that they never should be, endorsing. I can give you a simple example. Before the Sora, before this new tool, there was a video by the former president, Trump, his own opponents. They're talking about themselves. They're saying the names he was giving to each one of them, and it was realistic at a certain level. You look at something like Taylor Swift. Have their picture. We're looking at the phone call in New Hampshire from the, supposed to be from the President Biden. So it's hitting at all levels in this case.
So, okay, so here's the issue here. So these tech companies, they've gotten together and they said, look, we're going to take reasonable precautions, and that is a quote there, but they won't remove any of these things. I mean, isn't that part of the issue that there's no regulation? And we can talk about the European Union, which is poised to pass regulations on AI, toughest rules so far in the world regulating AI technology, but for some reason that can't seem to be done here.
Well, here's what happened in Munich, which is the Munich Security Conference. 20 top companies in the tech companies, including Microsoft and Amazon and Google, they have something called PACT, which is basically like an honor, word among them. That it's 8 points. I mean, the summarize in this one is we're going to be transparent. We're going to do two things. We're going to look at the source and also at the distribution, and then we're going to label it like what happened with the political ads. This is paid by so and so. We're going to say this is created by AI, and you have to be careful about it. They're not going to remove it. Now, there's no teeth to that. I mean, what if one of those companies decided not to do it? There is no punishment. But the reason for them to do something like this, Andrea, is to preemptive any kind of regulation that the Congress is thinking about it by saying, look, we have an agreement together. I mean, 20 companies now and 12 going to join us later. This is how they approach it.
Yeah, I certainly understand that. And I know the frustration happens when we see what, I think on the surface, many people see what they're doing here. But for some reason, we can't convince U.S. lawmakers to look past all that, while Europe says we're looking past any fluff that you might be putting up in front of us, and we say we're going to take proactive measures against this. And, that has led to some issues with tech in our country for a number of years, huh?
Well, that's the story. The thing about the regulation and the worry, among the Congress and the politicians that we're not going to stop the, innovation of the AI. We're the leader in the world. We're like 10 years ahead of most countries. Now, there's another thing happening in Australia where they have like a committee of scientists and academics. They're asking them, help us craft these kind of laws. I mean, the EU is ahead of us in a sense. They already have something called Artificial Act, which has very simple 4 rules: transparency, information, punishment, and the classification of the AI. So they say this is unacceptable, this is dangerous, this is okay, this is minimum impact. Okay. So if we should take something from this and just apply it to what we have. Yeah.
Yeah, a little something. I mean, it doesn't seem that hard, but yeah, we'll see. Ahmed Banafa, thank you so much for your insight from San Jose State University. I'm sure we'll be talking with you again about this very subject. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right.